It says here, does it make sense to vote for Gary Johnson, the Libertarian candidate for president? Sure. Of course it does, as long as you believe two things. First, you have to believe that it makes no difference at all whether Clinton or Trump moves into the White House, because one of them will. Second, if you're going to vote Libertarian, you have to believe that we will all be better off if we eliminate environmental regulation, all of them, abolish the income tax, all of it, do away with public schools, every one of them, dismantle Social Security and Medicare, all of it, because that's what the Libertarian platform calls for. So, do the Americans between 18 and 34 really believe these things? According to a recent Quinnipiac, or how do you say that, Quinnipiac poll, 29% of Americans between 18 and 34, that's about 1 out of 3, say they will or they would vote for Gary Johnson if the election took place right now. Jesus Christ. Well, he smokes pot, Mike. He's in favor of legalizing. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, by the way, the Libertarian platform, or the Libertarian philosophy, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't believe there should be laws against incest. Of course, they don't believe there should be laws against abortion either. So that kind of cancels itself, right? And most, according to this, most of the young people who say they'll back Johnson or Jill Stein, the Green Party, most of them appear to be young citizens who would support Clinton in a two-way race. So Paul Krugman, who wrote this, said, "I'd like to make a plea to young Americans. Your vote matters. Please take it seriously." And then the $64 question that we who are older, I think, understand to a greater degree than younger people. And that question is, why are minor candidates drawing so much support this year? I'm not saying Bernie Sanders. I'm saying Jill Stein and the Libertarian group and anybody else who's running. Why are they drawing so much support? Well, because you and I, the older generation, we know that the system is totally fucked. We understand that. We do. We understand how corrupt it is, Democrats and Republicans, but not on an equivalent basis. Not that that matters, but I'm just saying. But how many of these young people actually have read the Libertarian Party platform? How many of these younger people understand what it is they'll be voting for when they vote for Jill Stein this go around or Gary Johnson this go around? If you know, here we are once again. If you want a Jill Stein or a Gary Johnson, get off your goddamn ass and get out there, hundreds of thousands of you, and do what people did for Bernie Sanders. That's the only way that Jill Stein or Gary Johnson are ever going to be a viable candidate. But you know that. The reason you're voting for them is to say, fuck you to Hillary Clinton. But in doing that, don't you realize what you're doing? I said a couple of weeks ago I had to wrestle with this long and sweaty and work it out. And I have, not to my great satisfaction. My candidate was Bernie Sanders. But for whatever reason, because we didn't work hard enough, because Debbie Wasserman Schultz fucked it all up so he couldn't win, because of this, because of that, because of the other thing, doesn't matter. He's not the candidate. And I know when he threw his support, so to speak, to Clinton, a lot of people who were in the Sanders camp really lost it. I was in temporary shock when he endorsed her also. And it took a while for his reasoning to sink in to me.